Born under a violet desert sky in Palm Springs and destined to rewrite royal history, Jazmin Grace Grimaldi was never meant to be ordinary. The secret daughter of Prince Albert of Monaco and a hardworking American waitress, Jazmin's life is a breathtaking saga of hidden legacies, desert lullabies, and dazzling defiance. She didn't grow up in a palace. She grew up on stages, in classrooms, and on mission trips to Fiji, all while headlines tried to define her. But Jazmin didn't wait for anyone to hand her a crown. She built her own, crafted from courage, creativity, and a refusal to be boxed in. From founding her own humanitarian fund at 14, to releasing fearless music and stepping into film roles that pulse with raw truth, Jazmin's journey is a collision of grit and grace. This isn't just the story of a royal outsider, it's a masterclass in forging your own spotlight, even when the world wants to cast you in someone else's shadow. Get ready to witness a modern-day fairy tale where the princess writes her own script. Picture the Coachella Valley just before dawn on March 4th, 1992. The skies blushing in shades of violet and pink, like the desert itself knows it's about to witness something monumental. A restless wind races across Palm Springs, stirring up dust and dreams. When a baby girl lets out a wail so electric, it could power every neon sign from here to Las Vegas. That's Jazmin Grace Grimaldi entering the world in a modest hospital room where the walls still carry the quiet hopes of her mother, Tamara Rotolo, a waitress who slung blueberry pancakes at a local diner with a smile that outshone the California sun. Tamara's more than her apron, though. By day, she's hustling as a real estate agent, chasing square footage under the relentless desert heat. By night, she's a storyteller, spinning fairy tales for her newborn daughter as the stars twinkle like they're keeping a secret. And oh, there is a secret, one so vast it stretches across oceans to a tiny glittering principality called Monaco. 6,000 miles away, Prince Albert stands on the Rock of Monaco, unaware that this desert morning has just rewritten his destiny. Jazmin's name, scribbled by nurses, is like a locked treasure chest, plain to the eye, but holding gold that'll dazzle once the lid's pried open. Tamara feels the weight of this moment. She's already crafting the story she'll share with Jazmin someday, about courage that defies distance, love that spans continents, and choices that take root in the driest soil. She hums lullabies as the desert wind presses against the hospital window, carrying memories of a whirlwind summer in Monaco, yacht decks kissed by Riviera sunsets, stolen glances under Mediterranean stars, a romance that burned bright before fading into goodbye waves, and letters sent to a palace that never replied. Tamara wonders if Albert still recalls the taste of California grapes they shared after a swim, or the freckles on her shoulders that caught the sun's glow. She wonders, too, how long a secret can thrive on silence alone. For now she cradles her daughter under the Palm Springs moon, picturing the day she'll unlock this truth. This isn't just a birth, it's the opening act of a saga that'll keep you hooked, a story of grit, grace, and a girl destined to rewrite the script. Fast forward a few years, and Jazmin's a whirlwind of energy, sprinting through Palm Springs backyards, with her hair streaming like a pennant in the wind. At 5, she's already a performer, turning cacti and palm trees into her audience for wild operatic dramas she conjures on the spot. This kid's got range. She can summon tears one second, laugh like it's contagious the next, then hush the entire desert with a look so piercing even the cicadas turn down their buzz. Tamara's her biggest fan, taking her to community theater matinees, snagging the cheapest seats so they can lean forward, soaking in every line without blocking anyone's view. When the house lights dim, Jazmin's eyes widen like lunar craters, her heartbeat drumming a vow only she can hear. One day, she'll own that stage, commanding a spotlight brighter than the desert noon. But there's a piece of her story she can't quite reach. Her classmates chatter about dads who toss baseballs, fix leaky faucets, or hoist their kids up for birthday confetti. Jazmin, now 7, studies the family photos taped to friends' fridges, piecing together which pose might belong in her own album. When she asks Tamara, her mom's face softens, like a pencil sketch left unfinished, all gentle lines and hesitant shading. "You are loved," Tamara says, and it's true, but love sometimes tastes like a half-told tale, leaving gaps that beg for answers. In 2006, Jazmin's 14, a freshman clutching textbooks at St. Margaret's Episcopal School, when Prince Albert publicly acknowledges her as his daughter. The world goes wild. Reporters swarmed the school parking lot, their headlights slicing through the early morning fog like paparazzi flashbulbs. Friends whisper, teachers clear their throats, and every locker becomes a rumor mill. The hallways, once scented with dry erase markers and cafeteria pizza, now hum with the ozone of a lightning strike. Fame, Jazmin learns fast, is a double-edged spotlight. One side warms you, the other blinds. But this girl's got resilience in her bones. At J. Sarah Catholic High School, she channels the chaos into applause. She stars in school productions, belting high notes that could shatter glass, winning senior faculty and fine arts awards like they're her birthright. After the curtain falls, she smiles for selfies, but keeps her phone on silent, knowing any vibration might be another tabloid ping. Her mantra is simple: use the noise as sheet music. Let the symphony drown out the static. College beckons like a stage door left ajar. Jazmin chooses Fordham University in New York City, majoring in theater and international business. A combo that screams she's here to command both the script and the bottom line. Between lectures on Shakespeare and spreadsheets, she trains at Stella Adler Conservatory, where instructors demand vulnerability so raw it's like skydiving without a parachute. On weekends, she sharpens her comedic reflexes at Groundlings Improv in Los Angeles, learning that timing is oxygen and failure's just an improv prompt labeled "try again." Every class, every late-night rehearsal is her staking a claim. She's not just a headline, she's a force building something real. But her heart's not only on the stage. At 14, the same year her name hit the news, Jazmin founded the Jazmin Fund to help communities in Fiji devastated by cyclones. While her classmates compared prom dresses, she was emailing logistics partners about water filtration units, learning that generosity travels faster than gossip when it's fueled by purpose. This isn't a photo op, it's her soul at work, ensuring kids have clean water, safe schools, and a shot at a future. She's proving that influence isn't about tiaras, it's about showing up where it counts. In 2015, Harper's Bazaar invites her to share her story in a Manhattan loft, windows flung open to city sirens and bakery aromas. Jazmin doesn't hold back. She speaks of growing up without her father, of meeting Albert in Monaco at 11 and feeling like both a stranger and a daughter, caught between warmth and formality. She talks about building a bond now, surfing parallel waves of affection and protocol. The article trends, but Jazmin's not chasing clicks. She's wielding truth like a scalpel, cutting through speculation to reveal the marrow of her journey. Every word is measured, every anecdote deliberate, a testament to a woman who's learned to tell her story on her terms. Music becomes her oldest confidant. In 2018, she releases Fearless, a single that thumps with synth beats and vocal runs that soar into the stratosphere. The lyrics confess vulnerability, late-night subway rides, loving a city that never hushes, daring to be seen without titles or tiaras. Music blogs compare her tone to Florence Welch's wildfire vibrato, but Jazmin laughs. She's only racing against earlier versions of herself. Fearless isn't just a song, it's a declaration, a promise that she's done hiding. Acting opens new doors. She lands her first film role in Cicada, 2020, an indie so honest it feels like peeling sunburn. Playing a character navigating love after trauma, she brings desert heat and Mediterranean tides to the screen, her eyes telling stories words can't. Critics take note, and she's already prepping for the Chelsea cowboy studying dialects with the hunger of a collector chasing rare coins. On set, she learns cameras crave truth above all, and truth comes easier when you've spent half your life dodging half-truths. Her private life carves a softer glow. In 2016, she meets Ian Mellencamp, model, musician, nephew of rocker John Mellencamp. Their romance blooms in Instagram moments, rooftop sunsets, acoustic jam sessions, the occasional out-of-focus croissant. Tabloids sniff for scandal but find none. It's just two creatives weaving melodies from laundromat afternoons and late-night ride shares. Together they champion Tory Burch's Embrace Ambition initiative, speaking on panels where Jazmin quotes Maya Angelou, Ian strums a borrowed guitar, and audiences sway between inspiration and minor chords. It's the kind of love story that feels like a warm hug, proof that even in the spotlight you can find something real. Monaco remains a magnet and a maze. Jazmin has no royal title, no claim to the throne. Monaco's succession laws bar children born out of wedlock. Critics once whispered that Tamara chased crowns, but Jazmin shrugs it off like stage dust. She attends National Day celebrations, adjusting the tiny sashes of her half-siblings, Gabriella and Jacques, letting cameras capture a tenderness that transcends legal lines. Her father's estimated billion-dollar fortune may one day be carved into legacies, but Jazmin measures wealth in trust, not trust funds, a bond that took 11 cautious years to build. Grace Kelly's presence lingers in her dreams. Jazmin watches high society on a laptop propped by pillows, rewinding scenes where Grace's smile redefines elegance. She imagines strolling Monaco's gardens with her grandmother, trading tales of Hollywood's golden age and Riviera whispers. The 1982 crash near La Turbie, where Grace lost her life, is a wound she can't rewrite. Instead, she steals Grace's poise for red carpets, her empathy for interviews, her ability to let silence speak louder than flashbulbs. The media is a relentless tide, ebbing and surging. During the pandemic, rumors about Princess Charlene's health swirl like mistranslated telegrams. Jazmin posts a photo embracing her half-siblings, captioned with a single heart emoji. The image rockets across continents, read as solidarity, diplomacy, or subtle shade. Jazmin doesn't annotate the moment, trusting viewers to project their own stories while she lives hers. Her work with the UN World Food Program reveals her truest shine. She visits warehouses where grain sacks tower like beige skyscrapers, learning the anatomy of a logistics chain, the heartbreak of a delayed shipment, the triumph of a single vaccinated child. No tiara here, just a hard hat and a mission. She realizes influence unspent is just a fragile ornament, but influence invested is currency that multiplies in human lives. Ask her friends in Brooklyn dive bars and they'll tell you, Jazmin's the real deal. One minute she's nailing a Fleetwood Mac karaoke cover. The next she's debating climate policy with the passion of a senator. She recites Shakespearean sonnets from memory, orders tacos in Spanish so fluent the server double takes, and thrives in contradictions. California beach child, yet Manhattan night owl, royal yet rogue, soothed by incense yet hooked on boxing class adrenaline. Every contradiction braids into a rope strong enough to swing from one identity to another without falling. What's it like meeting the father who once didn't know you? Jazmin sidesteps easy answers. She might describe their first lunch in Monaco's private garden, teacups clinking louder than her heartbeat. She searched his eyes for resemblance and found uncertainty instead. They talked school, sports, how desert sunsets differ from Mediterranean ones. With each visit, the pauses shrank, the laughter grew, until they found common ground in puns, so terrible only family dares giggle. Forgiveness, she believes, is a mosaic assembled one tile at a time. Her 20s are fading into her 30s, and Jazmin's ambitions burn brighter than ever. She envisions a studio album blending pop hooks with orchestral flourishes, a film role that lands her at Cannes, not as a guest, but as a Best Actress contender. She dreams of expanding the Jazmin Fund to bring mental health programs to Pacific Islands, sketching plans between rehearsals. There's a children's book idea simmering, about a girl who discovers her reflection hides answered prayers, and a Broadway goal, though she's determined to master tap dancing first, dignity intact. One crisp fall day, she stands atop the Rock of Monaco for a photo shoot, gulls looping overhead, the harbor glittering with yachts that whisper billionaire secrets. The granite beneath her feet has witnessed centuries of intrigue, marriages brokered, wars skirted, fortunes gambled. Jazmin's just a note in this medieval saga, but she's writing it with daring ink free to edit, underline, or add exclamation points. For every skeptic who assumes her path is predetermined, there's a believer cheering her unpredictability. She might drop a jazz-infused EP, surprise fans with a comedic cameo on late-night TV, or co-produce an indie film shot on 16mm. She could vanish to Fiji for months, rebuilding storm-shattered classrooms, surfacing only when kids are laughing under new roofs. The point, she insists, is to keep the plot twisting. An inheritance may loom, but Jazmin's not banking on it. She records voiceovers in spare bedrooms, turns sound booths with duvet walls, reads contracts line by line to protect her dreams, networks at galas and vegan food trucks alike because you never know which handshake sparks a collaboration. She carries a queen's poise but a stage hand's hustle, striking sets long after the audience leaves. When critics call fearless cliché or question her philanthropy's motives, Jazmin doesn't snap back. She opens the door. Come to Fiji, she says. See the spreadsheets, the kids, the rebuilt schools. She posts rehearsal bloopers, bad hair days, botched notes to shatter the myth of effortless perfection. Authenticity is her crown, sparkling brighter than any jewel. Some evenings, she's at a grand piano in a dimly lit lounge, playing chord progressions until patrons hush their chatter. Each note knots her past to her present, the hush of a Palm Springs sunrise, the gasp when her father's name first printed beside hers, the roar of applause after a flawless high C, the laughter of children eating their first hot meal post-cyclone. One winter, she and Ian slip into Grace Kelly's favorite chapel, lighting candles without a single photographer lurking. The flames flicker against stained glass, carrying her prayer. Let purpose outrun spectacle, art outlast headlines, love outrun protocol. No royal decree needed. Her signature is the smoke curling upward, seen only by the heavens. The future stretches wide, like stage lights warming seconds before the curtain rises. Jazmin inhales, savoring the dust motes dancing in the glow. She's ready to step forward to write the next act with fearless ink. Critics may lurk in the balcony, skeptics in row 3, but there'll also be kids in Fiji tracing her name on new library walls, fans humming fearless under their breath, believers clutching playbills dog-eared by hope. The desert dawn she came from, And the Mediterranean dusk she's walking toward meet at the horizon, shaking hands on a promise. Identity is both birthplace and destination. Jazmin Grace Grimaldi began as a secret whispered in the desert and grew into a symphony that drowns out doubt. Her story is a challenge. Grab your pen, your mic, your heart, and write your own. The world's waiting to sing your chorus.